think so. Yeah, it says on the.
Okay. Hi, I'm Christy Taylor.
Hi, I'm Brianna Melson.
I'm Stephanie Malero.
I'm Sabrina Bello.
Okay. So, well, some of our group members aren't here, obviously, but Justin said that it was a great idea to include all the hyperlinks like throughout your manual, so you can always like go back to the table of contents page. I agree with that. Yeah, this all looked good. We didn't have any comments. Let's see. Fernando said, great job giving an accurate description, as some of these things can be lost in translation. And then again, Fernando mentioned the hyperlinks throughout your manual is helpful to go back and forth.
Did all of them work well?
I only tried a couple of them, so I cannot speak to that, but the ones that I did try worked. So
Oh, that's great.
What else? Fernando also said, with your ethical codes, you gave an excellent connection paragraph. I agree. You guys really went into detail with the connections to really relate it back to your training. Again, hyperlinks, great job. Fernando said training objectives gave clear description as the criterion to show competence, but not the training itself. Looks good. Let's see. Justice said to explain the purpose and the procedure of the study clearly, and it has a relatable reference for this manual as target of study has similar background. I guess he's referring to the reference you guys included there.
Okay.
Looks good.
Oh.
Nanda made a comment about the citation here. Yeah. Nothing too crazy. And then he made a note wondering if you checked other similar studies to see if they had similar results. It's really difficult because I'm not entirely sure what he was talking about, but yeah.
I think, I don't know. We'll have to look at that more.
Yeah, maybe we can and then he said here, although this is a quote, are there any other studies that support the same claim? Okay. Again, just I guess asking for different sources that could help support. And then your section here about function-based antecedent interventions, Justice said that the definitions were clear for both FA and FBA, and the wording is understandable, which I agree with. Same thing a little further down, your definitions are very thorough and easy to understand for somebody who might not be as familiar with the field. Let's see, again, citation. Same thing here. More citation things.
I'm really glad that he found.
Yeah, I definitely was not paying that close of attention to the citation. Sorry, but he was.
Oh, that's great. We need that.
Obviously, we weren't either, so we need that.
And then he commented about the advantages and disadvantages, and he suggested maybe adding more disadvantages to your table here. Again, looks good. I didn't comment on the side, but I really liked that you guys included this visual here. And then, I don't know, Stephanie, if you want to do the appendices comments.
Sure. Yeah. And on all of this stuff before, you guys did a really good job of your formatting, making sure that everything was lined up and, all that kind of good APA stuff looked good.
Oh, that whole page is blank. Why?
I thought that you guys did that on purpose, and I was kind of like, wow, that's a good idea to like break it up.
It was definitely not on purpose,
I do like that though.
but maybe it could work. Not.
For the pre-test, post-test, there's some good questions. My only concern is like number one, negative questions can sometimes be confusing. And especially like where option D, it talks about, sorry, there was somewhere else where it was like negatives that can sometimes be confusing. But yeah, otherwise the questions were good and applicable.
I'm so sorry if you guys hear my cats, just ignore them.
Liked your table here, looks nice and organized, easy to follow. And then of course the free response is always nice, to kind of give people an option to write what they feel instead of having to pick a number. And yeah, here on instructions, providing a specific criteria that was important to include, making sure that they can keep, working with clients and explaining those criteria was really helpful too. And this checklist looked good as well. A lot of them, nice, neat, organized, but a little variation. So they're not all just like, look like copy paste or anything. They all look different but still clear and consistent. So that looks good.
I just wanted to add on, I like that you guys left like a comment section, because like, I don't know how many of you like have ever done like evaluations, like that kind of thing, but like it's definitely helpful to have that comments, because in the moment you're thinking about it, but when you go back you're like, what even happened? So it's nice to have that written down.
Yeah, so Fernando commented about if it would be out of 30, or if your max score is, since there's 10 sections, make sure that that's accurate.
Yeah, that's a good catch too. I'm not good at that.
Then it was good that you had all of your checklists from the professor filled out too. I know it's something we forgot sometimes. So that looked good. Yeah, we made comments about being colorful, using visuals, that the slides were effective. Really good. Yeah. And liked your images here. Good PowerPoint. yeah, eye-catching, informative, like Fernando said. GIFs are always nice, or GIFs, however you say that. And and then the hyperlinks looked good there too. So frequently asked questions, that's a good idea to include that in there. Answering questions that were already asked, how to handle that, that's good too. Feel like we need to come up with more criticisms. We're being too nice to you guys.
We're just like, you guys are great.
I feel bad. 'Cause I feel like I'm like a critic. I'm like, oh, we need to do this. I found all the errors so far. No, just kidding.
Yeah, Fernando commented about maybe adding a little bit more development to the scenario, just so it's a little more could provide for variables of different outcomes to kind of get a discussion going a little more with everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe a few more terms for vocabulary. I know, just kind of thinking of somebody that has no clue what any of the vocab is, making sure that you're explaining
That was the
all of
hard
those.
part, because I was like, I feel like we explain things so in detail. So, but I guess like having it in one place would be better. Anyway.
Yeah, and a lot of it can kind of be a duplicate of what you already put,
Yeah.
in the paragraphs, just kind of copying it down.
Go
Yeah.
through all your paragraphs, all those like terms that you like outline. Sorry, all those terms that you like outline and explain. Maybe you can also just add them in here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think of it as like a glossary, Sabrina.
Yeah.
I know. This was like, okay, I think that's afterwards. I was like, okay, I think that would have been more,
Yeah, like if you were going to read this and then needed to take a test and you had a question, and you would want to go to the vocab section, not just read through the whole thing again. Let's see, Brianna said, including more specific concepts.
What I mean by that,
And then
sorry,
the checklist.
No,
go ahead.
For like the activity, you just put like section 1. Maybe you could put like, okay, section 1, and we're going to talk about this, and this, just so maybe like you have more of a specific outline of what the training.
Well, okay, so I kind of put that in the guidelines part, like sections, like section 1, like A through whatever, or should it be more specific than that?
I mean, I was just trying to find things, to be honest with you.
I was just wondering, because I know, like, I feel like that the timeline is more for like, or at least I felt like it was more for like the trainer.
Yeah.
So, it's like, I don't think they need that many words.
That's fair.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just like,
that was just my idea, like my.
So like when I was going, I did our timeline and I was like, okay, maybe I want to put like, we're going to talk about, or we're going to do like the PSI here. We're going to talk about like what non-contingent reinforcement is here. But I just like, that was just me. I put it in the actual table. But also, like you said, it's more for the trainer. So maybe you don't need all those words. So, do what you will with that information. And then the checklist at the bottom.
Oh, my checklist, I didn't even do it.
Yeah, good job on alphabetical order.
Good catch. The denting.
Yeah, the indentations with sometimes with copy and paste and all that gets messed up. So make sure that those are hanging indents.
I think.
No question. When we turn in like our final thing, are we like taking these checklists out?
I think so.
I think, because I remember reading somewhere she said to like take out like all the directions and all the extra stuff. So I would assume so, but and then yeah, I think that's all the feedback we had. So
Yeah, overall, really good job, guys.
yeah, you guys did a really good job. It was hard to find things to comment on, which is why I was like nitpicking almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty. Let me find yours to share. Maybe. Okay. Does that work? You see it? All right. I can't see everything. Okay. So much. Sorry. All right. So Dina made the comment. So she did all of our hyperlinks, and that was her comment, was it would be nice if your guys's was hyperlinked as well. Just to make it easier flipping through everything. And then Glenda made the comment that it would be nice if the population was included, just because 16% of what, like, what's the population? Then again, Dina likes hyperlinks. We all like hyperlinks. So then Glenda said previously mentioned 60%. Again, just like how many out of how many, like what's the that I guess before I get into like further ahead, I think the general consensus was just like you can tell that there's different authors at times. Like some of you guys are really, really strong writers, and then other people might be a little bit weaker, or like they just don't know how to like edit appropriately. I don't know. And so like that was like probably the biggest discrepancy, was like the flow. It's like sometimes it was like really, really clear, and then other times it was like, whoa, change of author. So that was probably our biggest thing, and I think that that's going to be a consistent comment throughout, was just like there's like a change.
This section, I have a question. This section right here was from the template though, right? I don't think we changed anything or added
I
anything.
can't
Are
remember.
we supposed to?
Maybe not. Maybe I think again, we're just nitpicking, trying to find things for you to edit. Like, I don't think it's necessarily that, but I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, because we weren't clear either if we were supposed to change or add anything to the stuff in black, or if we were just supposed to leave it alone. So I think we just left it alone.
Okay.
But yeah, we can certainly add things if we need to. We don't.
I think she's just nitpicking, because I think you guys did a really great job. I think that was just like the thing. I don't know. I mean, I guess, can we look at ours? Is it the same? I'm gonna look it up really fast. I'm gonna make it all confusing, sorry. Because if it is hers, then our suggestions don't matter. What page is that?
Or maybe you guys edited it and added to it and we didn't. That's certainly possible too.
That could be it.
Yeah.
Because we just weren't clear if we were supposed to or not.
100%. So we take that back. That is
Okay, yeah, we take those
that
back.
is not helpful feedback. So good catch.
You agree with her feedback. Like, I think that we should add it in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think she's right, but I just wasn't sure if we were supposed to.
Well, you're totally right. So I'm just gonna skip through those because that's not you guys. And obviously we had no comments, so you guys did good. I didn't read through this section. I thought we're just doing section 4, so that was my focus. So again, the hyperlinks, we like when you did it. Did you read any of this, Sabrina? Do you have anything?
I really only did section 4 because I thought that that's what we're doing.
Me too. Okay.
No.
Okay. So
yeah.
Dina liked that your literature review presents good evidence and support for the use of BST to learn a variety of skills. So she was just saying that she saw DTT above, but not DTI. So you maybe expand on what DTIs are somewhere to like help us understand the acronym or how it's being implemented instead of DTT. Just again, like the consistency, pick DCS or DSP and use throughout the document. We all really liked this in addition to training objectives for coaching. This section we liked. It was very well done. The link is good, but I didn't see a video and the checklist is blank for Appendix E.
Okay, yeah, it did the same thing for me. I didn't see like the video.
Yeah, I am not entirely sure what happened here. But yes, we will go back and look at it.
Okay. And then this link worked to the treatment integrity checklist. Dina just went through and did some edits for you guys. I won't go through those because she like did it with the editing button, but you guys can go through and do that. Just basic edits. What word? Oh, so again, that DCS or DSP, pick a term. We like that you acknowledge the differences folks bring to their roles. Engaging for all members is important. And then she edited that word, comfort. Good description of functional analysis. Megan added that this could also be maintained by peer attention or additional examples may be beneficial. It's always important to acknowledge and include limitations. Good job tying this back to section 1 and the roles of the trainer. This is a great definition describing interventions. What is this? Since we cannot observe how they feel, so I don't really know.
I think because it gives like it's more of like a subjective thing. Like it's not something we can
Yeah.
really measure.
Oh, I'm reading the wrong
measure.
sentence. Thus feel deprived of attention. There we go. Got it. I was reading this sentence above. I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Putting in more observable, measurable terms.
Yeah.
Is that what she's getting at? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Since we cannot observe how they feel. So she wrote this feel deprived of attention. She said, thus use behavior as the easiest way to gain attention was her suggestion.
Yeah, that makes sense. Good.
She really liked this quote. It's a hyperlink. Good conclusion. I'm sorry, I didn't read this. So Megan's feedback here was that DROs and DRAs can be tricky concepts for trainees with no experience. Consider adding a short explanation of what they are and the difference between alternative behaviors and other behaviors. So there's that. I liked this. I did read this. Scrolling through, I thought you guys did a great job of showing the advantages and disadvantages. My only feedback, and I just barely noticed this, was maybe like make this width
Yeah.
a little wider so it fits prettier. Some edits that Dina did. Megan What behaviors would it be appropriate for? Dina just said does it? I don't know what she's referring to. Could be as simple as good job or star on a chart.
Oh, I think she's trying to say, like, does it really require a lot of setup when you could give like a verbal feedback, like praise, or just something like a sticker, which is like easily accessible?
Yeah, so
Yeah, or maybe like incorporating it into a natural
Yeah.
way instead of making everything contrived.
Yeah. But I also think that's a little more like it depends on the kid
Right.
type thing. Because if they're the type that like likes the extra stuff, like an actual like token board or like, you know, a well-made sticker chart type things, or if they're the type of kid who just like all you have to do is give them that verbal praise and that's it.
yeah, so I think that you could expand on that a little bit. It's just,
Sure. Yeah. Include both options.
yeah. Just some edits. Okay, so
I just added this part in last night, so if
okay.
you get the first time.
Okay, so I think that there was some questions. So the pre-test and post-test, Glenda said, I think it would be a good idea to add some clarification regarding your pre-test and post-test in the paragraph above to make sure readers know that the pre-test is the same thing as the post-test. I thought your questions were really great. I thought that they tied into your PSI really well. And so then that way, like, you know that you're teaching these things really clearly and like with a visual aid, which for me helps when I've seen it and then I have to take a test on it. I don't do well when I don't see it at all, like I'm just reading it. So I like that it tied into your PSI really well.
And I like that like you guys questions and like answers were like clear and concise, because I think that's important, especially in training. And I also like that you asked a couple of questions about like acronyms, because there's so many acronyms, and I feel like especially like when I first started ABA, like in training, I was like, oh, okay, now I have like 30 acronyms. I don't know what any of this means, but okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah, no, this was a really great test. This I think was the biggest question, was the social validity of training, because it sounds a lot like role playing. So I kind of wrote that here just to like remind myself, like, because I in the video that she gave us, that she did say it was supposed to be a Likert scale. And so I don't know if you know what happened or if I'm missing something or if this is just in the wrong section.
I think that somebody got very confused.
Okay.
I know because when I was looking through it yesterday, I saw it, and yeah, I think that we just kind of mixed up the sections maybe, or
Well,
I don't know.
role play section is role playing.
Right.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I
I
don't know. I have no clue.
okay. And then I was confused about like this part right here. Was that one of us adding that? Or is that just like a note to yourself? Or I just
You're-
didn't know about this.
I also
I'm not sure either.
Okay.
don't know.
I didn't know what to
happened
write.
here.
I didn't know if it was one of our comments and we added it and it was just like an accident. I don't know. Then Glenda just said this is a little confusing. So just some clarification. So like, is it 2 people or 2 different groups? Type of thing. So yeah, I think that this was
We
probably
need to redo that section.
yeah, that was our like rudest or most critical section.
Don't know
But
what
it really
happened
just
there.
looks like it was in the wrong section.
Yeah. I mean, it's great information. It's just that I don't think that's where it's supposed to go. So Dina just wanted you guys to like format the list. Indent first line, indent left. I don't really know. Uh, but for me, I really liked your what are they called? What the skills being observed. My only feedback was I would move this or like have a key also right above it, because for me, when I'm doing these type of things, I'm like, I would hate that I'd have to skip over all of this information to get there. I know it's not far, but just that was it. Like just like add a little key right above it. So that way they don't have to scan more. But I liked that you guys mentioned being neutral here, because I think that that is so important, especially when you guys are talking about attention as the function. Like that's really important. And I liked this.
I like that open
Yeah.
section, you know.
And then you guys did a great job of having this formula for them. And then we didn't know if we were missing this or where this was at. The overview and facilitation of training. So that was it.
You might have completely missed it.
Right.
Okay. No, that's
Yeah.
fine. And then the PSI, just move this down. Dina said reword. So the knowledge checks, so it worked for me, like the PSI worked for me if I didn't click on the knowledge check link on the slide. So I'll show you guys what I mean, because I'm a visual person. Okay, let's see if it will do it. Okay, so if I click on this knowledge check and then I click here to continue, it goes on to the next knowledge check without showing us the rest of the PowerPoint. Where if I, oh, hold on, start it. So this is the beginning. If I just scroll through and I don't click on the knowledge checks, then it will take me to the knowledge checks, and then it will give me the second knowledge check, and I will have all of the information to answer correctly. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But if you click on the knowledge check, it doesn't take you
It's
back to
the
the
slide.
PowerPoint.
Yeah.
And then this part right here, the function of the behavior we're focusing on is attention, not function.
Good
Oh.
catch.
That was it. The other thing is it's a little bland. I don't know if you guys want to edit that or not, but
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the first time I've seen it.
Oh,
So
like it could have like some visuals, make it a little bit more exciting. But that was the only feedback, I think, was just those PSIs. And so I was like, if you just take those links out from the slides, it should work just fine.
Yeah, because when I ran through it, when I was reviewing it, I didn't click on those, so I didn't even catch that. So
Well,
maybe they're not even needed, because I went through it just fine without clicking on
Yeah, I
them.
don't think you need it, because then if
Take them out. Yeah.
because I think that at least Dina and I don't know if you went through it, Sabrina,
yeah.
but like I felt like I was supposed to click on it because it was on the slide. So I
Right.
did.
So I was like, okay, let me get everything. But then I feel like if I hadn't known that like there should be more information, I would have like kept doing the knowledge checks and then like missed out on that information, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think the trainers are probably providing this, but if they're not, I don't know. So that was the only thing. Otherwise, it worked great. Then the video modeling. Did you guys have a video?
I don't know if this part ever got done.
There's no checklist and there's
Yeah.
no link.
So I
Okay.
guess we do that.
And then Megan said add a statement on materials needed.
That's a good idea, Megan. I'm gonna add that to mine.
So, hyperlink. Like I just did like a basic edit.
Y'all's things were really good though. It was a lot more detailed than, because I was like, I feel like it's a little self-explanatory, but it's also not, because you're in training, so you need to be detailed. And y'all did good being detailed about, you know, the I don't know what I'm trying to say. We'll come back to that.
Okay. Megan, I agreed with Megan on this. I was gonna write this and then she did. This section is really well written. We liked this scenario. I think though, for training purposes, like Dina mentioned, maybe make it every 10 seconds. So that way you guys can get through the role playing quicker. Because 10 minutes is a long time to wait for somebody to scream. Like, where if it's a more consistent behavior, you can actually role play. And let's be honest, we have all had clients that scream every 10 seconds or so. So but we all really liked this. It was just that nitpicking. Glenda did this section and this helped her recognize some things that we wanted to change and add. Oh, I also liked this. Dina wrote it though. When the trainers will be interrupting, especially if it's like heading in a direction that's like no longer appropriate or respectful, like that's a good time to interrupt and letting them know like, hey, this is not going to be tolerated. So liked that. This is a great point. People are gonna have different views. We liked that here. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to that comment because this is where that came in. You added the ethics code, and I just added like, I really liked that you incorporated this, and if you wanted to, you could add the ethics code here about dual relationships and like just practicing it throughout. We just really liked this paragraph. This was like your standout, like amazing paragraph. It just covered so much and it was just really well written. Provide examples of ways to deliver feedback, which would be beneficial. So just expanding on the sentence. Also expanding on this, like how would there be room for misinterpretation?
And honestly, that could be something as simple as like, you know, an example, like just not giving vague statements, you know, explaining things in detail. Yeah. So it's very clear.
Feedback and coaching does not have to be completely negative. So I just added like feedback isn't criticism. It's just letting people know what they did well and how they can improve. So I would just remove this completely negative. Feedback and coaching can be positive. Like I would make it a more positive sentence because feedback isn't criticism. This thing was a masterpiece, really clear, really organized, just to the point. We really liked that. I don't know if you need to fill this out, but oh, you did, just differently. Okay.
Sorry.
Did you want something on this?
Oh, no. I think that one was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Dina just said, put this on a new page. And then I think we also, or at least I felt like maybe you could add a couple more definitions.
Some things that I caught like while reading, you could do like DTI, DTT, like DRO, DRA, because those are two things that I feel like still get confused. So those would definitely be two good things to add in there, the DRO and the DRA.
Functional analysis.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just add some more acronyms, which we also need to do. Check off this, add this to a new page. And then these were really clear instructions of like how to run the day and all of that. Just some formatting. So that way it's like a full word.
Good job with the detail.
Yes.
Like it was very detailed on the that last column about like what to do.
This was really great. My other feedback was, I know that in one of the videos I watched for like instructions was to just like watch like how long your training is. And I don't know if you need 4 days.
So
I don't know. It's
I
up
guess
to you.
I don't.
Did we
I had
do
no clue.
hours?
I was just like,
Well, I looked at ours and I was like, does ours need even 2 days? But
I see. Okay, I did it at first and I was like 1 day, but I was like, no, because I feel like that's a lot to like cram on someone who's no experience, you know?
no,
And
that's
you want to give like room for like the mistakes and rooms for questions and like to expand upon things.
well, and I guess I like did
Like
it
before.
factor into like the role playing, the video modeling, like all of those.
I sure was about to just cram it all in 1 day.
No.
I guess like I'm just thinking like to get through this whole like training manual, like I didn't think of all the activities in the breaks. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was like, no breaks. We got lunch. We're gonna do this section. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Let's
So I don't know. I mean, it all fits there, so that's totally fine. I just don't know if that's something she's even gonna pay attention to. I just feel like these are really long training days for these like simpler terms or ideas. I don't know. Like ours too. And then your references, they're all lined up and they just need to have a hanging indent. And they're all alphabetically organized, which were great. We did
Anybody know how to do hanging indents on Google? I can never figure it out.
I have no clue.
I always just copy and do it on Word because I'm like, I can't. I
I
don't
know.
know why it's
I
so
was doing
hard
it
on
in
Google.
Word too, but then it kept like messing up my formatting when I'd copy and paste. So I don't know.
So you guys, I think I can do it. So let me see. So you enter to make it a double space and then you tab.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Enter.
You have to do it all manually. You can't just
Well,
like
you could probably copy
in-
the formatting after you do that one.
Well, I
You
don't
do-
think so, but once you enter tab, the rest of them are already tabbed for you.
but you have to go through each reference and do it like that. You can't do it like on Word where you can copy the whole page and then okay.
that's annoying.
Yeah.
Sure.
But thank you for showing us because I definitely did
Yeah.
not. figure it out.
So, and then it makes the double space, which it's supposed to be anyway. And then I would probably add this to a second page.
Yeah.
I don't know if I did that with my mess.
Yeah, I think all of the appendices have to be on their own page. So we'll definitely fix that.
And then I mean, I feel like I've been talking a lot, but I just want to like read what they wrote because we wrote like our written feedback on a different thing. So you guys were really good at acknowledging differences and diversity that new DCS bring to training throughout created materials. You guys had clear descriptions of technical terminology and concepts in parts 2 and 3. Some areas were really well written and well researched, and the coaching and performance feedback is a great idea to use. And then Glenda, she said, overall impressions, some really great points and rationales provided. The training manual had sufficient detail and was meticulous in describing various aspects such as the settings, population. This will really help the reader get a better picture. Oh, that was in regards to her population, but that's not you guys.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. that was kind of all that we wrote down. So like you guys did a really good job. I think we just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that you were missing some pieces, and
Thank you guys.
like we want you to do well, and you guys are doing great. So anyway, do you have any questions?
No, but I feel
I
like
think so. We appreciate your feedback.
thank you guys. You guys did an awesome job too. And I'm sorry that we went like nitpicky with it, but like I just have to find things.
We have to, because like we already like it's 4 or 5 of us in groups, so we already are like catching things for each other.
Yeah.
So then it makes it hard when there's like another group of like 4 or 5 people. Like, but what do I even say? Like, do I even
Right.
comment on this?
Right.
You guys did a really great job, and yeah. So all right, I'm gonna stop. Maybe. How do I stop recording?